back on the show here.
Hi, everyone. So today we are here with author, missionary, and minister Paula Bob. She serves as an evangelist, missionary, and worship leader, and is passionate about God and gospel through local and international outreach ministries. Just recently, during the pandemic, she traveled to Jamaica, her hometown, Kingston, where she was born, and worked with the inner city children there. And she's also going to be talking a little bit about her life and what has inspired her upcoming memoir. Paula, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful.
It's
Good
so
to be
nice
here.
to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
Now, you have also done some television and film work, is that right?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
We're going to find out all about that today, which is great. And it's funny how it's just funny how sometimes the way you found us or the way we found you
Yes,
or whatever.
yes.
So it's great to finally meet you and be able to have this conversation.
Yes.
So
It's nice to be here.
Yes.
Nice to be here.
So tell me a little bit about, now you're an actress, you do backstage work, extra work, and you just completed a short film not long ago?
Yes. So, yes, I do a little bit of background work. Um, some people would call it, well, I'm a background performer. Some people say extra,
Mm.
but my colleagues, they get really upset when I say extra because it's really background performer and it is really acting. And yes, I was fortunate to be a part of a short film called Claire de Lune
Mm.
recently, where I played a secretary. And it was fun working on that project. And I really enjoy doing background work. I really do.
now, is that going to be in the theaters? Not that we're allowed to go see it, or TV, or is it a local film, or is it a Hollywood blockbuster?
No, well, it actually got submitted, I think, in some festivals in France. So
Ooh.
it's actually doing very, very well. Yes, but but I'm not there yet. I'm not in Hollywood yet.
Well,
Yeah.
we're all making our way there.
Is that a
I'm
serious?
fine.
Is that a serious goal to really want to go and do
No,
acting in
no,
Hollywood?
no. When I first got introduced to that side of the world, it was purely by accident. A friend of mine just said to me, um, "Can you follow me somewhere?" And I said, "Okay, sure." I didn't know that she was going to sign up with acting, and I didn't know she was getting involved. When I got there, and they said, "So who is this?" And the next thing you know, I'm doing print work. I'm doing a little bit here and a little bit there. So it was purely by accident. I had no intentions to get involved in this kind of, yeah.
So it wasn't when you were being bad, because you told me that that some people, are bad and then they find God, whereas you were always bad.
Yes. Was I bad at that point? I'm a little bit risque, I would say, but yeah, I was
It's
still
just acting, though.
Yeah, I know, but yes, in real life I've had my struggles. I still have my struggles, but I'm going through, and I'm little by little I am getting there. I am being responsible. I'm doing my part, and I'm just cooperating with God. So yeah.
Well, the fact that you've had these struggles, I think if we're all honest with ourselves, it's true. We all do. And does that, I know you have a few causes that are really close to your heart. Working with children, inner city kids, especially people who've been incarcerated, homelessness, poverty. How does that relate to your mission work in your life, which you've recorded in a memoir recently?
Well, I grew up in the inner city in Kingston, Jamaica. Um, there was lots of crime, poverty. As a young girl, I saw many things. I witnessed poverty at its worst,
Wow.
and growing up and being involved with a missionary church, because that was the church that we attended. It was a missionary church, and my church was big on helping people, reaching out to people. So I saw both sides. I saw the bad sides. I saw, I lived in the ghetto. I experienced, poverty. I saw homelessness, young girls going astray, brokenness, and all of that. And my mom was also, and still is, big in helping other people. She would take in children, like mothers that had a lot of kids. Like, she would take on one, even with hers.
So your mother was basically, in a way, she was mentoring kids,
Yes.
already so at a young
Yes.
age. You were witnessing how she was
Yes.
doing her part to
Yes,
connect.
yes. My church, my mother, it was just all a part of the plan. So I saw that, and you know, as an adult, like, I cannot help but go there. Like, I have to go there. I know what it is, and I have to reach back and try to help.
Wow, yeah, and you have been helping. I mean, you've received, it was in 2020, the Life Changers Club International Woman of Influence Award
Yes.
for recognizing over
Yes.
7 years of community work and service to the community.
Yes,
And
yes.
you're out. So your church is TAB Ministries in Toronto. Is that right?
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, someone reached out to me and submitted me for that award, and yes, I was recognized for 7 years work in the community, and I'm really thankful and you know appreciative of God making the way for me to get that award. And it's not even so much about the award; it's about stepping out, because wherever you are, you don't have to be a missionary. Wherever you are, you can make an impact. You can start anywhere. A smile, a coffee, a pair of shoe, a bag, and it just builds up. So yeah.
Well, this you have a really great mantra, and it's about self-investment. And I think it is. You've said to me, when we invest in ourselves, that is the first step, and people see that, and then they start to want to invest in themselves. Did I really capture that? Because that kind of feeds into your
Yeah.
way
Yes.
that you work with people.
Yes, because okay, like, a lot of, when I do my mission work, I would reach out to people on Facebook for donations and stuff like that. So it's really asking for help. And people sometimes say, then, well, if your mission is of God, and if God is sending you to do the work, like, oh, how come you're asking for help? It doesn't work that way. We are a community, and we're in this together, and there are many people who are out there that they want to help, they want to do something, and they don't have the time and that space. But God has afforded me that time and that space, and I didn't want to be like, okay, I'm charging this alone. I reached out to other people and get other people involved. And yes, investing in yourself, it's like the biggest thing, because if you don't, then don't expect other people to invest in you. And that's why I said earlier on, you can start anywhere you are. Start by giving a coffee. Start by put your money into yourself. Yeah.
Well, you said to me that, and you're right, that a lot of times people want to help the community, but they
Yeah.
don't know where to start, or they
Yeah.
think it requires a lot of money.
Yes.
And you're saying that actually it comes from within. How
Yes.
would you recommend for someone to start if they wanted to go become a missionary, go on a mission? And then we're going to talk about your last trip.
Because I always wanted to be a missionary.
Good.
I can believe that.
Good.
Yeah, it's true.
Good. Well, as I said, start where you are. Start by giving, by reaching out, whatever it is that you have inside of you that you can share with someone else, that you can give to someone else. As I said, I started with a smile.
And how did you did tell me a story. How is it that you did something at first, and that was kind of the beginning to helping people?
Oh, the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, the beginning was after I migrated here, I was doing church stuff, just being a church, hopefully a good church lady. And I was visiting another church, and a woman speaker came, and she preached a message, and the message was, "Who will go for us?" And I sat there, and my heart melted, And in the message, someone answered and said, "Here I am, God, please send me." And that touched my heart so much. And at the end of the message, I responded, by saying, "God, send me." And that was the beginning. Doors started opening up. As I said, I posted stuff on Facebook. People started randomly giving, and even up until today, my core supporters are from Facebook. My home church, like, people are really catching on with the vision. Even though when I first started, most of it was coming out of my own pocket, but now people are catching on. People are helping to assist. So it's coming together.
So what is the vision then of this ministry?
The vision of this ministry. Well, the end goal for me is I really want to set up something international, mainly in the country my country of origin, to give back there. And I really want, like, I see a center, a big space where I can bring in young women and give them a start. They can live there for a little bit. I can get them on their feet. I see also in that space, people could come for food. I see people coming, to get dressed, to go to work and stuff like that. So the vision for this is to open up a center where we can reach more people. Yeah.
Yes.
And that would be somewhere in Jamaica, I guess.
Yes. I would really love that my first charity organization will start there. The first one that I build. I really hope so.
You know what would be great is when you set something like that up and you set it up right,
Yes.
and you
Makes
kind of
huge
get all
change.
everything working properly.
Yes.
Then you can take that concept and you can start to replicate
Exactly.
it in other
Exactly.
locations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to tell people you can find Paula, and we're going to put the info up on the bottom of the screen soon, on Facebook, where you have most of your supporters. Paula Allen Bob,
Yes.
and that's with Bob with 2 B's at the end,
Yes.
BOBB, and Allen, ALEEN.
ALLEN.
Yes,
Yes.
instead of the A.
Yes.
And that'll be on the screen now. I've been to Jamaica, and it's when I've been there, when I was there rather, we actually rented, because whenever I go travel, I do like to I don't stay in the resort, or if it is a country that has resorts. And we actually hired a taxi driver and just had him take us around. And I had a lot of questions. I was thinking, this was about 2013 of doing mission work at the time there. But what I wanted to understand was why it was so difficult for kids to have get an education. Also, there were a lot of unbuilt houses around that weren't finished being building, and I was also learned that I said, is it true that weed is your biggest export, marijuana? He's like, no, this and that. I said, he said, if you have a goat and a couple chickens, then that really helps a family. And now you've been there, and you can tell us a bit about that. But it answered a lot of questions for me on an economic level about the struggles with education and poverty and the houses. And you were there in February. So the pandemic had begun, and you had to make a choice
Yes.
about whether to go or not. And you
Yes.
went. And here's some photos on the screen for the viewers about some of the photos you took while you were there. So how long did you go for? I know you helped many kids.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, let me just touch a little bit on what you mentioned first. Jamaica is it's very advanced. But I think the problem is there's a little bit of, it's unbalanced, because you have the very, very rich, then I think majority would be like the middle class, and then you have the really, 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 really poor. And those are the ones that actually fall through the crack. And those are the ones that I am trying to reach. So let me get that out of the way.
That's so important.
Yes. So that's one of the major problem, because the rich is very rich, the poor is very poor, and then the middle class people, they're basically getting by.
Yeah.
So there is not a lot to reach to to the really, really poor. And I must say also, Jamaica has had many, many missionaries. There's a lot of mission work that's going on there, but because of the vast poverty, it can never be enough. There's always a community. There's always some rural village that is untouched that you can reach. With regards to the pandemic, my goodness, I was actually at the spa when I heard of the COVID. Like
Wow.
yeah, it was in February. I went for my birthday and I came back and I was watching the news and I was like, oh, so we're in a pandemic. Like, what's happening? And I usually do the missions in August,
Right.
and I was like, okay, so is this happening or not? But then something rise up in me like a big, this needs to happen, because even though we're in a pandemic, the sun was still shining.
And
The world did not stop.
I love that. And
Yeah.
and like you said that what better time
Yes.
to do something, to do a mission trip, but in the middle of
The middle.
a
Yes.
pandemic.
Yes.
And you're also very inspirational quote too about how it's never supposed to be comfortable,
No. Mission work is not comfortable. If you
but it's rewarding.
it's very, very rewarding. And let me give you an example. When I answered the call of mission work, my first trip was to China.
Ooh.
Yeah. And when I got there on the second day, I was really, really ill. And that day we had to do chores, and it was yard work. And I wanted to quit. I was like, I don't think I made the right choice, but I was with a team and I had to put every strength and every effort to make sure that I was a team player and make sure that I get the work done. And I'm saying all of that to say that it's never easy. The call is not for ease. The call is not for comfort. The call is to go.
And what you
Yeah.
told me about the China mission, that was the first mission you did. How did you get on board? Because I know there's a lot of people who want to help out there, but you don't know where to start. And you did explain to me really well about
Yeah.
how you joined that trip.
Yeah, well, that one was divinely inspired. How I got connected to go to China, but I've also traveled with World Mission Alliance,
Right.
and they are like one of the best. So if you're out there and you want to do mission work, World Mission Alliance is a very good place to start.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so that's good to know. Thank you.
Wait, I'm writing that down.
World Mission Alliance.
Yes,
Everybody.
it's a very good place to start. Yes.
Do you get paid as a missionary?
No.
But do people, I
No.
know everyone's
No?
wondering
No.
this at home. Do you need money to start, or you need to just be able to cover your plane trip and bring people on board your mission? I mean, if you're with a church, I know that they will
Right,
help
right.
you plan. But
R-
does
okay.
someone need money to do it?
Yes,
Okay.
you need money for mission work. If you have the support of a church to back you, then they will help you out somehow. But it's still very tough.
Hey, we got
Yeah.
the pictures. We don't have. I just want to make sure we
Yeah,
show these pictures while
Got 5
we
minutes.
can.
Yeah.
Right. So do you want to? And maybe you can talk about what was going on in these pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that picture right there is that's the folks coming in to get their stuff. That's the one of the police. They came and they stayed with us. To make sure that we were keeping up with the COVID protocols and
And
Yeah.
you partnered with Grace Kennedy and Red Stripe Company.
Yes.
And
Yes.
generously donated food and care
Yes.
packages.
yes,
And distributed back to school packages.
Yes.
200 beneficiaries directly, if I'm correct.
yes,
And
yes,
then also 57 additional packages.
yes,
And a gifted top student won $10,000.
Yes, 10 yeah.
Grant towards school.
Yes, and this was just the first one, and then we went to, because this is the inner city. That
Right.
picture is the inner city, downtown Kingston,
Kingston.
Jamaica, and then we also went to St. Elizabeth,
Okay.
and we also gave out 100 backpacks to a local church there,
Right.
and then my husband drove around and just randomly gave backpacks to kids on the street.
Very,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
inspirational.
yeah. Yes, yes.
And then
yes.
here, these would be the
So
packages.
yes, this is
I
a
love this food company.
yes,
They make great,
yes.
great hot. I love
And they're
Jamaican food
very
and hot
Grace
sauces.
Kennedy is very
Grace
they're
is
very
amazing.
big on helping the community. And this year I was fortunate enough to have them partner with me this year, and
Amazing.
they provided whatchamacallit, care packages for pretty much over 300
Did it include
kids.
ginger beer?
I love their hot
No,
sauces.
but
They're-
Red Stripe gave Malta.
nice.
So Malta, yeah, they donated
Malta's
Malta.
one of the beers.
Yeah, it's not a it's non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic, so
Yeah.
it's a malt beverage.
It's a malt, yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Yes.
It's nice to have Red Stripe on board.
For those who don't know, Red Stripe is Jamaica's beer, and
Yeah.
the reason I really like Grace Foods is because there's basically no additives in it. I buy all their hot
Mhm.
sauces, the jerk sauce,
Mhm.
all the time.
Yes.
So we just have a couple minutes left,
yeah.
and how long you were quarantined? How long were you in? Were you quarantined as well before you did the mission work for 14 days? How
Mhm.
long were you in Jamaica for?
Well, I had
in
to go
total?
for I think it was a little bit over a month because we had to do the 14 days quarantine. So we went through that, and after the quarantine we had to go and clear the shipment, and it was just go. So yeah.
Now you've got an upcoming book, and and it's the title is being kept under wraps for now. We're going to talk more about it the next time you're back in the studio.
Yes.
But it's a memoir, and has it is it your whole life, or it's inspirational? And you've been described by people as encouraging, passionate, courageous. What does the memoir capture in a nutshell?
The memoir, in a nutshell, it captures how the environment that I was raised in, how it shaped my life, distorted my views, stole my joy, and basically how I took my joy back.
Amazing.
Yes.
And you've got you're planning to do more mission work and reach out to other organizations with this book as well, right?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm planning to. The vision for the book is to actually get it into the shelters, the prisons, those places, unreached places where people need that pull. They need to get over limiting beliefs and all of that stuff. So that's where I see them, the shelters, the homes, the prison. That's where I see my books. Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
Well,
Hugh.
when we're going to talk about the book in another interview, but it
Yes.
sounds like it could really be inspiring to people.
Yeah. And exactly. And I just want to say, Paula recently got her life coach certification, and you haven't been wanting to brag about it, but so people can find you online.
Yes. Yes.
And IamKingsDaughter.com
Yes,
is your
I am
website.
kingsdaughter.com, and yes,
On the bottom.
we will delve a little bit more into that. But yes, it was something that I also took on during the COVID, and to be a life coach, I'm always talking about happiness. I'm always talking about joy. And if I can help someone else, coach someone else, give them the necessary steps that they need to take to get to that happy place, well, I'm here for it.
That's
Well,
amazing.
and that could come in handy doing the mission work as well.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
So in terms of the missionary or the mission, we've got the website up there, IamKingsDaughter.com. But if people wanted to get involved, like, are you looking for people to get involved in mission work, or what are you looking for people watching this? Like, who should get in touch with you and why?
Well, they can get our missionary. The mission work operates out of Tyrone A. Bob Ministry.
Okay.
So if they want to get involved, they can donate. They can also donate there at Tyrone A. Bob Ministry.
And how is that spelled? TY?
Yes,
R-
or TAB Ministries.
TAB Ministries.
TABministries.com. They can send donations there because as soon as April comes in, I usually start collecting, so they can donate there. There's a button there for them to donate.
So
yes,
important.
and they can also donate at IamKingsDaughter.com at that website as
And
well.
they'll find a button there. as
Yes,
well.
great.
yes.
Perfect. And then people can friend you on Facebook, Paula Allen Bob,
Yes.
and that's ALLENBOBB for
Yes.
your middle and last name.
Yes.
And also on Instagram. She
I-
is,
The joyful one.
yes, find her on Instagram.
Okay.
Well, we're going to be back with Paula in a few more days and talking about her book.
4 minutes, depending on what time stream you're operating in.
Yeah.
So let's thank you for doing this, Paula.
You're
And-
welcome. Thank you
and
so much
we
for
are
having
gonna
me.
do a little commercial break right now, and then we're going to come back with lots more here on the 600 Club,
Yes.
which is kind of like, remember that show, the 700
Yes,
Yes.
Club, right?
pretty much.
Exactly.
So this is the 600 Club.
Yes. And it truly is because that's our address, 600 Bay Street in Toronto.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and we'll be back just in a few minutes.
It's attracted